Well, hey, howdy everyone! Today we're going to be playing a little bit of Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, because I tried playing a little bit of Dead Space and it was a little too scary for me. So we're going to play Luigi's Mansion 2. It's a family-friendly Nintendo game without any jump scares, without any spooks, and without anything scary happening at all. Whoa! Well, we're going to switch over to Resident Evil 4, because that was absolutely horrifying. Thankfully, there are no jump scares in this game. There's a lot of zombies, but, you know, pretty much you know when something spooky is gonna happen. There's never really any moments that, like, really shock you a lot. Okay, this is the one. It's about fun, happy animal friends who walk around eating pizza together. There's nothing scary about this. I've got happy music playing in the background. I'm so serene right now. I'm having a great time, and I'm not at all nervous or scared, and nothing's coming to get. Why is there static on my screen? What happened? Oh! I wasn't expecting that guy to be there, guys. I can't do this. When the other games make you terrified, what you gonna play? Ghostbusters! When you're getting scared, cause you think you'll die, what you gonna play? Ghostbusters! Whoa, wait, there's ghosts in this game? I didn't know that, guys. Never mind, drop it. Absolutely nobody ever in the whole history of being alive has been afraid of Super Mario 64. It's a normal game, got normal gameplay, normal music, a normal piano. Okay, Pikmin, this is it. Everybody likes this game. There's nothing scary about it. There's no jump scares. There's no haunting ghosts. There's no anything that would be... Okay, well, that's fine. I didn't want to go to sleep tonight anyway. Oh, look at this. We're playing Sonic Frontiers. I really hope nothing scary happens and then I have to switch to another game. Oh, whoa, it's so scary. I'm so terrified of Sonic. Guess I have to play a different game instead of this game. Oh, what a tragedy. I love Sonic Frontiers so much. It's so much fun, but it's just too scary. Ooh, so scary. Scary how I spent $60 on this piece of garbage. Now I know that I will not be scared of my boy Pac-Man. This absolute hero saved the video game industry. It is a revolutionary game without any ghosts. Oh no. Okay, here we go. We're having a fun time. We're at a dance party in Psychonauts. What could be scary about that? Nothing. There's nothing spooky, there's no jump scares, there's nothing weird. What's in this box? Let's see what's in this box here. Okay, well, I never want to think about that ever again, so let's play Bug Snacks. It's about, like, food that walks around and says goofy stuff. It's fun. It's a fun game. There's nothing scary about it.
Take my newest invention, the Snack Grappler. I built it so that I could help Chandler with his basketballing problem. But I forgot that.
You know who never is afraid of anything? Spider-Man. And just looking at this game right here, I can tell. It's gonna be super chill.
I heard this guy dips his hot dog buns in tomato juice before eating them. I get that it makes it easy for them to go down, but...
What the heck? I don't like that. Minecraft has been in my heart for the longest time. It's my favorite game. Minecraft is pure. It's perfect. Minecraft would never betray me. Whoa! You know what? This isn't that bad, actually. I like this one. I'll play this one then.
It's me, the Pumpkin King, and my loyal servant, the Pumpkin Ghoul. We arrive here amongst you mortals once every year on Halloween night to be evil and things of that nature. I'm gonna take this thing off. It's actually kind of hard to breathe in here. So yeah, it's Halloween time. That is, assuming I uploaded this video on time. Kind of a toss-up, really. Around this time of year, a lot of people like to make lists of the top 10 horror games or whatever, but I've personally always avoided the horror genre for one good reason.
But I still did want to do a list video for this month, so instead we're going to be talking about the top 5 spookiest characters in video games. But before we get started, there's a pretty important clarification we need to establish. This list will be focusing on spooky characters, not necessarily scary ones. If you're confused, here's a quick example. This is scary, but this is spooky. You see what I mean? Starting off this list is Dracula. From Castlevania. The trouble is, other than the fact that the villain is Dracula, I don't actually know anything about Castlevania since I've never played it. I'm gonna have to steal 100% of this footage from someone else on YouTube. Thanks, guy who I stole it from. Please don't be mad. Alright, fine, I'll stick to characters that I actually know about. And one thing that I do know is Minecraft, ergo the snow golems. I guess maybe the skeleton horse jockeys might be a better fit, seeing as how a skeleton man on a skeleton horse is slightly more impressive than a snowman with a face that looks like it was drawn by a toddler in MS Paint. But there's just something really cool about the snow golem that I just can't get past. Reasons why the snow golem is really spooky. Number 1, his head is a pumpkin. Number 2, his head is a pumpkin. What else do you want from me? They're one of the only mobs you can actually build at will anywhere you want, and as long as you have suitable access to both snow and pumpkins, you can effectively generate an infinite army of snowball-wielding pumpkin monsters to defend you wherever you are. Kind of. I say kind of because while they are willing to relentlessly pelt to death basically anything in their sight with an endless barrage of snowballs, they also don't deal the least bit of damage whatsoever. So it's kind of useless. Ghost Train. Ghost Train. Train haunted by ghosts in the train. Ghost Train. Ooh. The Ghost Train, or I guess Phantom Express if you're into calling things by their right names, is the final boss before the final boss before the final boss of Cuphead. This one differs from other boss fights by trapping you on a cart, which can only be moved around by parrying these little valves on the sides. It's a bit more difficult than it sounds though, because 1, this is Cuphead, and 2, these annoying little pumpkin guys won't leave you alone for 5 seconds and keep constantly dropping pink bricks on you. But I wish these guys were only aiming for my ceramic skull, because instead they insist on dropping them right on top of the valves, instantly thrusting me into all sorts of situations I don't want to be involved in. Sure, I guess I could just disable them by activating easy mode, but I mean, what is this, the baby show for little babies? No, this is the Yeshio show for little babies. Instead, I'm gonna do the cool guy thing and parry all the bricks before they hit the valves. Just gonna parry all the bricks before they hit the valve. Just gonna parry, I'm just gonna activate easy mode, goo goo gaga. If you're looking for horrifying video game characters, Pokemon has got you covered. Something almost entirely due to a phenomenon I like to call Professor Oak's law of inverse friendliness, which clearly states that, and I quote, "The more friendly or cute a Pokemon appears to be, the more Lovecraftian its lore is. Litwick steals your soul if you look directly at him. Drifloon, known for kidnapping unsuspecting children. Mimikyu, once made a man's heart stop when he looked under its mask. Clefairy, you know, he just kind of creeps me out." Okay, so quick update on the Litwick situation. Apparently he does not steal anybody's soul, he's just a nice man. I'm not sure why I thought he did, and I apologize for this blatant Litwick slander. The other two are real though. But as mentioned before, we're going for spooky here, not necessarily scary. And the spookiest Pokemon of them all? Pumpkaboo. That's actually really fun to say. Pumpkaboo. It's the only Pokemon ever, aside from its evolved form, to be capable of learning the move Trick or Treat, which turns the enemy Pokemon into a ghost type. But I don't know, doesn't seem that special to me. I've personally turned quite a few Pokemon into ghosts myself by means of beating them to death in the woods. But at least the move looks cool. The Pokedex entries for Pumpkaboo are pretty creepy as well. Apparently it acts as some sort of pumpkin spirit house by housing wandering spirits waiting for the afterlife. which means that at any point in time, there are potentially hundreds, if not thousands of souls currently trapped inside this cute little pumpkin dude. Technically, if you think about it, I'm pretty sure that makes this thing not only a ghost, but a haunted ghost. Ghost squared. And if you still aren't convinced that 𝘊𝘳𝘢𝘊𝘆 is the spookiest character in all of Pokemon, then let me just ask you this one. If it's not, then how come there's an entire character in the Pokemon anime whose sole personality trait is 𝘊𝘳𝘢𝘊? Think about it.
On the darkest night of every 400th year, when all of Animal Crossing ought to be slumbering in their homes, those unfortunate enough to be caught outside alone shall be haunted by the scariest, most terrifying, most evil spirit the earth has ever known. Jack the Pumpkin.
Jack shows up every year in Animal Crossing to really bring the spook, by calling himself the Pumpkin Czar and recruiting you as his minion to gather candy for him. One way is to visit the shop every day in October and purchase a single piece of candy, because for some unexplained reason, these guys won't let you buy more than one at a time, and the other is to go door to door on Halloween night and trick-or-treat with any of the villagers inside their houses. But if you're gonna go trick-or-treating, you're gonna need an epic costume. And you know what's a better costume than a skeleton hat and no other clothing? Trick question, there is no costume better than that. Once you have enough candy, you can trade it with Jack for some spooky items, including his head and robe so you can steal his identity. As fun as it is to impersonate royalty and intimidate other people into forking over their hard-earned candy, it is admittedly kinda weird that this guy's going around handing out one-to-one replicas of his own head to people. If the other villagers smell candy on you, though, they'll stop at nothing to chase you down and demand it from you. They're like little candy fiends. Fortunately for me, I've got sick juice, and they're never able to catch me. Either that, or everyone on this island is incredibly stupid and or out of shape. Your call. If they do manage to catch you, though, they'll request a piece of candy in exchange for some other spooky items. What you want to do with your new spooky merch is up to you, but I went ahead and dedicated an entire room in my house to a new cult I'm starting called the Pumplings of the Spookiness, where we sacrifice the other villagers to Jack the Halloween Czar. There's no denying that the skeleton zombie re-deads from the Legend of Zelda series are pretty high up there on the spookiness spectrum. But you know what's even spookier than that? The mini-skeletons in the Arbiter's grounds in Twilight Princess. I don't know why, but for some reason these little tiny skeleton men trying to stab me to death with toothpicks is just so funny to me. They're not even really that much of a threat. All you gotta do is swing the Wiimote around a couple of times and they pretty much evaporate on the spot. And that just makes them all the more hilarious to me. In fact, they're so unbelievably pathetic, I almost feel bad killing them. I'm gonna be honest here. I know I should have a lot to say about these guys since I put them at the #1 spot on this list, but I'm struggling to come up with a single interesting observation to point out. So instead, I'm gonna read you all this little poem I made up. Spooky, scary skeletons, you're feeding off my fears. You crawl from underneath the ground and stab me with your spears. Spooky, scary skeletons, they're only 3 feet tall. They're not really that dangerous, but I will stab them all. I'm so sorry, skeletons, for slashing you apart. But keep in mind, this gruesome fight is something you did start. Spooky, scary skeletons, you drive me so insane. Your creepy bones will live undead forever in my ghost train! One random night at 3 a.m. I thought I'd play a joke. I read a page from an old spell book, then aloud I spoke. I put the book back on the shelf and started up a game. But as I played, I noticed soon something was not the same. The screen was shaking to and fro,
The static was unbearable. The music rose to a haunting pitch, a ghastly wail, quite terrible. And then the devil faded in, his hair adorned with flame. Behind my screen he smirked and growled.
I heard that you like games. I challenge you right here and now to put your skills to test. Super Smash Bros. If you dare for the title of the host. Should you win, then accept this golden PS5. But should you lose, your very soul will seal itself inside.
Now in most of times I should know more than to play games with a demon. But the golden PS5 he held had blinded me to reason. We started up some Super Smash and launched into the battle. It was then that I had realized that the devil was a casual. Game 1 he leapt right off the edge of Final Destination. Game 2 I socked him to the moon. He screamed out in frustration. We started out at best of 3, but he changed it to 5. Then 9, 11, 17. I made the devil cry. He threw his Joy-Cons at the ground, seeing his defeat, and turned to me with eyes aflame and swore I tried to cheat. But then from underneath his cloak he drew my golden prize, and before he could depart I rose and looked him in the eyes. I'm ready for another match if you ever are inclined. I'll crush you in a 1v1 anywhere, anytime. I must admit this golden PS5 is rather swell, but I'll take your golden Xbox if you have that one as well. Now that was 50 years ago, my hair has since then grayed. My muscle memory not so sharp, my reflexes delayed. My eyes not what they used to be, my coordination failing. But then one random 3 a.m. I heard ghastly wailing.
I'm back.
Was all the devil said once he had appeared.
You challenged me to a second match, and now I'm finally here. Are you prepared to relinquish your own immortal soul?
In just 1 hour he let me be with my Xbox made of gold.